catch me on the next set of videos. I'm going to be showing on the next set of videos. You can go, but I'm going to tell you something. This is for all my divine feminines. How we are treated in the world is really jacked up. And I'm going to tell you why I feel like it's jacked up. You could be friends with a man. You could be talking with a man. You could be going through a relationship with a man. And this is for my divine feminines that are dealing with heterosexual relationships or other divine feminines that are males. It doesn't matter, gender fluidity. Okay? So I ain't trying to bash nobody. But this is mainly for those that are black divine feminines dealing with black males in particular. Okay? So you could be friends with a man, you could be on a talking stage dating a man, courting a man, or you could be in a full-blown relationship with a man. But here is the thing that really messes with me. When you pick up a red flag and you walk away in the beginning stages, these men come back and they try to befriend you in a sensitive way and expand on your emotional sector, at the same time try to appeal to you in a sexual nature. Like, they know you're attracted to them. So they put on that mask and they try to expand and clean up that red flag. And they do that. They play a game with you. And you're sitting there expressing all your emotions, all your feels. You know, you start getting real nice. You talking to them. They're texting you all day, every day, acting very present, right? Just to breadcrumb you. They're not necessarily, you'll be on the same stage for 4 or 5 months. You're sitting there on the same stage you was 3-4 months ago. They're these type of men that have to always have an image with the homies, have an image with family, you know, all this stuff. But while they're sitting there with you, divine feminine, they are secretly competing with you. They're sitting there taking all your spiritual knowledge and going back and regurgitating their own shit. They're taking your spiritual practices and 9 times out of 10 conversion to black magic. They do warlock shit straight off the rip. They copycat you in some way, shape, or form. And then they try to, then when you pick that red flag up, distance yourself a second time, because most of us, we feel and we go with our emotional sector, but also we go with our spiritual sector, which sometimes tells us to go back into shitty situations because there's still some karma we have to issue, because you got karma angels out here, right? And you go back into there, you like, you know what, I need a break, I don't know what's up, because they might have done something. Usually it's something that's subtle, like, I had a friend that called me a bear. I took that as verbal abuse, because there's certain things that men do, which is verbal abuse. They pick on you. I used to talk about this back in the day when we were black kids, a bunch of black kids. My mama said if anybody call you on something outside of who you are or yourself, or outside of a compliment, they mean that shit. So if a man says something like, yo, you stupid, they mean you're stupid. Even if they're laughing and joking and giggling. Because black people in the black community have a malicious, nasty way of quote-unquote joking, when really it's not joking. It's them being disgusting, subconsciously jealous, and envious of another person. So they will call you a name behind humor. Now, if you read, I took laughter theory, a laughing theory class in college, and it was called The Aspects of Laughter. If you want to get that book, go read it. The Aspects of Laughter. And they said if laughter does not come from a spontaneous place, 9 times out of 10, it comes from a place of fear, which is abandonment, rejection, and neglect, or maliciousness, meaning people pick on themselves so you can laugh at pain, but it is pain that created the laughter. Or people like to cause, who are in pain or are feeling of conflicted or afflicted with a demon. In my case, what I'm like to see, they like to laugh at you. They're like jokers, tricksters. Joker. Joker always says some slick, funny stuff, but the whole time he was laughing at somebody, he was planning on hurting them or harming them, or just not doing nothing that was favorable for that person. So you got them type of people, and when you back off and distance yourself as a divine feminine, you back off and distance yourself because you have that type of wisdom. I'm gonna tell you once, when they try to sexually entice you or engage with you romantically, and after you backed off of them the first time because maybe there was just a trauma bond and you didn't want it to continue being a trauma bond, so you decided, hey, I think I need to back up and take a break from this. I'm not too sure if I want to be in this connection. And they want you to be in the connection because you're an energetic source. So they're like, hey, ain't nothing, we can change up, we can switch up. And they start to maneuver and change it up and switch it up. They put on a mask. And you're like, no. After they come and they subconsciously send some negative energy your way, you try to back off again. Leave. If you're going to leave somebody the first time, leave them on red, on the red flag. Don't come back. No more divine feminines. We are not doing no more 3 strikes. Now you have the ordainance to leave. Mission complete. We're moving into a whole different time era. We're moving into a time paradox that you don't have to go through the 3 strikes. Now the energy is so potent enough in the divine realm. A person has one time to mistreat you, and you can walk the hell away. Yes, people will go, oh, well, you should have been having that boundaries. In the divine realm, you have as many boundaries as the divine issues you on a mission. Sometimes you have to go back in there because there's extra stuff you have to instill, and you're not aware of it. And how you're not aware of it is because the divine teaches us to lead with our high heart chakra. So if our high heart chakra is still active in a situation, it is unfinished business. But now, when our divine chakra, when we mature and we get older, and especially towards our Christos years, number 9 years, number 369 years, 33 could be very significant. 55. When we get there in our Christos years, our beginning years, we are stepping into our own time paradox where everything is shortened. So if you look at your life as a level of experiences, you used to take a lot when you was young. It gets shorter and shorter and shorter as you age and mature. So it's the same within the divine realm, because the divine realm goes by the growth scale of the tree of life. Everything in life must evolve. Everything in life must grow. So you got to look at it that way. So as you're looking at it that way, if you gave 3 chances, you'll notice something about those 3 chances with these males. And you'll notice that they'll entice you, and they'll put on the mask, and they'll put on a show. And then if you pick up something and start to distance yourself, you'll notice that they act very controlling, very possessive. Everything has to be their way. You'll notice that. Um, and if you manage to get away a third time, right, and you come out of it, you'll notice immediately they become hostile energies. These men will become verbally abusive. They will have people gang stalking you. They will send people your way to hurt you. They send negativity your way. If they got into occult practices, they start doing all types of black magic. They form covens and cults. Everything they can do. They harm you. They come to try to do it when you finalize getting the fuck away from them. Right? Because they have yet to do self-reflective work on their own damn behavior, on how they treat a divine being. These if they're a copycat, I'm going to use three males for example here. One, we fell out over him being a people pleaser, and it was a small little spat that I felt could be squashed because he should have been mature enough now, around 21. He should be mature enough now to understand that real friends don't fall out over little simple things. Like, yes, you called me weird, and I took back all my promises, but I never called you a name. I never said you were weird. I never called you a name. So me trying to squash it and reconcile, I go back to the situation, and I'm greeted with this young ass, uneducated, ain't took a psychology course in the no sense ain't never went nowhere in the world, to throw words that he's been regurgitating from the spiritual community and these young folks. Narcissism. I said, honey, you don't even know. You being involved in the spiritual world for the premise and purpose that you're involved in, which is to vibrate on a higher level and to access magic systems and stuff like that, and to get clout and to be the big dog and the big divine master of dark art. I don't know what the fuck you're trying to do. But you being involved in those things and talking about like you're better than somebody now and that they're a narcissist makes you the narcissist right then and there. You become the narcissist. The person who sits there and listens and doesn't rebuttal, let me tell you something, and lives a solidarity lifestyle, which is, in my case, I'm an older mom. I don't have time for friends and all that bullshit. I got bills to pay. I'm not into this materialistic world. I don't give a fuck what you think about my hair, my nails, my makeup, none of that. Like, I'm not trying to be your friend and ride around in your whip and smoke and do all this shit. I'm not trying to be in the scene. I don't give two fucks about that. Okay? The most I want is a nice life for me and my kids. That's all I want. And a few friends along the way that I can share my life with. My life. My world. I'm not trying to enter in no collective groups. I'm not trying to get no fine, dime nigga and be a baddie and all this. I'm not trying to be in that shit. That's young folks shit. And young folks don't know they operate more in narcissism than anything else. And I'm like, okay, you operate in a collective categorization of trying to not collect knowledges, but you're trying to collect the power out of things. And narcissists are all about control. And when they feel powerless in a situation, or they feel like they can't hook somebody, or they can't mistreat somebody, or do somebody in a which way, without that person checking them or saying, I can't deal with you, they become hostile and dangerous. I'm sitting there looking at this man getting mad at me to the point where he is basically making the faces of "I'ma sock you in your fucking face," and I'm standing there just looking at him like. And I only said one thing. I asked him, "Why do you feel that way? What did I do?" And after I asked him that and he explained to me, he said, I said his mother was weak. I said, I want to say, if your mom was in an abusive relationship with a man who was beating on her from time to time with alcoholism, yes, that is weak-willed. That is weak-willed. I've been in a situation of abuse. And yes, I categorized myself at the time that I was in an abusive marriage as a weak woman. I was weak and naive. I felt weak. And learning the experience, I knew I was naive. Because, like I said, when you're young, you don't have the wisdoms that you have now to avoid certain things that you would have in the past. So I can't go back to the past and rewrite it, but I can say what I was in that situation. I was young, and I was in love, and I was naive, and I was not worldly. So being with this man, and he being something that was my best friend, greatest love of my life, and going through his mental health issues, and going through his family dynamics that were riddled with male controllers, possessive male controllers that beat their women or cheat on their women, like knowing that was a trait that was going to be passed down, and he underwent psychosis, and I lost him. I lost the moral core to him because the moral core went when the mental health wasn't kept in alignment. Meaning when he didn't keep his doctor's appointments up and take his medication and stuff like that, he started to act on the basis function of the foundation of which he was raised, which was in violence. So I don't fault him for that because I know he's a product of his household. And I love him and I support his well-being, and I hope he's happy, and I hope he's gotten stable. And I hope there's a day that he can get my ex-husband, I hope there's a day that he can get himself together because his children miss him. And I really want my kids to have an active father in their life. So, with that being said, I'm going to get back to the story. My whole thing here is, there is no narcissist that talks like that. There is no narcissist that will sit down and love you and understand what the hell you're going through. Narcissists don't do that. Now, empaths, we do have a thing where we might link up with a man who look good and we get to help in healing them and we get sexual. Because all that high vibrational energy of healing is a womb energy. It's a solar plexus sacral chakra energy. And it is something that we might feel in love with the person. And in us being in love with a person that we start to heal, we want to, be sexually involved and in a relationship with them. But again, when you mature, you learn how to separate that energy. You learn how to separate that. You start to understand that we're meant to heal somebody, not be in a relationship with somebody. Which I wanted to explain to him, hey, yes, I really wanted to be with you on that level. And I learned later on that I was really just there to heal you. That's all I was there. And he admitted that I was there to heal him, but he said I manipulated him. And I was like, I'm like, okay. First of all, I was very upfront and forward with the sexuality thing. So I can't really manipulate you if when all is said and done and we done had our conversations and we're talking and we're just chilling, I start dressing sexy and trying to take you down. Like, that is not manipulation. Look, and manipulation is you knowing that I want that from you. And you saying things like, I love you. I'm love you. I love you. I'm in love with you. But I'm not. I got love for you. That's manipulation. It's double fortune. Manipulation is knowing that I'm healing you and knowing that I have feelings for you that are very intricate and deep, and sitting around in that energy. But when you get ready to go out with friends and families and homeboys and you want to look at another girl or be with another girl, instead of you drawing a clear line and objective that we're nothing, you allow me to believe that we're something. And then you call me some shit out your mouth so you could go and do whatever the fuck you want to. And you expect me to take verbal abuse. But narcissism is also this, your ego being bruised when all that love that I had, all that healing I had, I withdraw my energy back into myself. So a narcissist cannot understand energetic withdrawal. They cannot handle energetic withdrawal. The moment you take your promises back and you give your love back to yourself, that's the moment they get ready to demonize you. A narcissist or anybody who is using you, they don't understand when they hurt you, and they don't understand when you pull back your energy after being hurt. And they are usually the ones who initiate the hurt, something that caused the hurt. Didn't nobody need your opinion on me being weird? If you were out there cheating or hanging out with your homies, the simple thing you could have did was like, I'll talk to you later. You don't have to call nobody out their name or nothing like that. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, baby, you are suffering. You are suffering. You are not purging. You are not letting go. You are you're not focusing on the light. You are utilizing dark magic. Like, you're not trying to read doctrines. You're trying to get quick fixes. And you think this is a hierarchy game of winner takes all. Or I'm going to be the high ranking whatever. Not to understand you'll have a lust for power. And when you have a lust for power, you have already lost your divinity. Divine beings lead with love. Love, our strongest armor. Love, our strongest weapon. Love, our strongest suit. We don't have to do nothing to nobody. Because the angels resonate on a frequency of God's love of the earth and all creations. Equality in being alive and having a life. So that's my first point. You will 9 times out of 10 provoke a witch or a warlock to act against you out of paranoia. Which they do not understand when they do that. The moment they start to attack or try to manipulate somebody's free will to walk away, or manipulate somebody's free will to come back or walk away, whatever the case may be, to mess with you being able to maneuver in, as your heart is guiding you to. When somebody steps into your heart chakra, your life force chakra, and start to do black matter magic, they have become the biblical witch that every holy book talks about is condemned to suffer. Tampering with free will, you don't have to do that with black magic. Energy is always going to be manipulated, whether it be good or bad. But you do not have to tamper with people's lives in general. And I say this because I felt he didn't want to admit the truth that he did so many spells on me. And they kept breaking. And he contributed the spells breaking to me being a witch or something. But he never once paid attention to the fact that I prayed. He never once paid attention to the fact that I read holy books. He never once paid attention to the fact that I had angels all around me, gods all around me. Because what they don't understand is the chosen, we are oneness. We find truth in everything. We are the intelligent material of the cosmic scheme. So at the end of the day, we don't have to do that shit. We don't have to manipulate nobody. We just ask and ye shall receive. And we don't ask for harm to be done. As I say, I'll be open to receiving. The lady said, be open to receive. I will be open to receiving no harm done to any and all. No harm done to anyone and all. That means that I want to receive my blessings. I want to receive my abundance, my prosperity, the nine fruits of the spirit. But I do not want anybody to be an expense or a sacrifice for what I have to receive, what I am getting blessed with. Because there's enough of it. Power was never meant to be in one hand. It was meant to be a distribution of players on the field. A team methodology. And the team was never meant to be in competition with another team. We are all one, therefore there is only one team. And either you own gods or you are not. You either own the divines or you own demon time. And this man, I already said, when he looked at me and said that, the last thing I said to him was, I would ask more questions, but I do not feel, I know that everything I say and do will be perceived as narcissism. And I walked away. Now, that's the same thing as like everything you say or do will be held against you in the court of law. In his court of law, everything I would have said would have been wrong. So why say anything? Just walk away. Now, that's Exhibit A. Exhibit B is this person who only want to be your friend when they have an opportunity to fuck you. I have never met so much inconsiderate ass men who I can literally look at them and say, no, I do not want sexual relations with you. I'm in a stage of healing. And they come back and call me all types of nasty names. Or insinuate that they're going to go and be a badass hoe or bad boy, fuck love. Dealing with those people who put that shit on for guys, like, you were never good at the core. This is just something you was doing so you could get ass. We were so much alike. And then after you made your come on to me and I denied you from coming on to me, all of a sudden you start to degrade me as a woman. I'm a stud, or I don't date black women. I only date white women. Stuff like that. And I'm like, why should I know that? I don't care to know who you're dating. For one, I don't want to date you. I don't care to know if you think of me as a stud. It's disrespectful because you don't see I'm a heterosexual female. And if you don't see me around here acting like a man, dressing like a man, then and I'm sitting here being a mother to 2 kids, you are supposed to respect me as a woman and never give me a title that I did not co-sign for. So he called me a stud because he wanted to make me unattractive in his own mind. And the only way to make me unattractive in his own mind was to degrade and destroy not only my character, but me as a woman. You got men out here that are so fucking insecure and cannot handle rejection that they will go to destroy you as a woman. They want to destroy your confidence, yourself. esteem. And they let certain shit slide out of their mouth that makes them wicked and ugly. And when you point it out to them that I don't like this, you sitting there, you want to apologize. The next day you want to talk about the angels, and the next day you're uncomfortable with me saying praise be unto glory to God. And then the next day you want to talk about bring your pussy here. I want to fuck you. These men right here. Are opportunists that only look for, they try to feel their way in, wiggle their way in. And they're only friends with you because they want waiting for an opportunity. But push them away. Reject them. Neglect them when they want a trauma bond. And abandon them when they want to leech off you. And I guarantee you your name's being drugged through the mud in every crowd they go to. They twisting the truth up and saying all weird shit about you. If they're not, they're waiting in the shadows for an opportunity to either make you vulnerable by poking a hole in your energy by saying something to you to hurt your feelings, and then coming back apologizing, as I call it, or waiting for an opportunity for some shit to fuck up for them to come crying to you because they feel as a friend you're supposed to constantly trauma bond with them, or waiting for a moment when you're going through something and trying to console you with their penis. Like it's just like, when you're dealing with that type of friend, it's going to go the same way. But here is the difference. Being that you have friend zoned them from the beginning and they can't get out of that box, they're going to make you an enemy in the end. Best believe they're going to make you an enemy in the end. They're going to figure out some way to make you an enemy in the end. Why? Because you didn't give them what they wanted. Greedy and they're envious. And these are the type of friends that never will pray for your success in a relationship. They will never want you to move far away from them. Because if you make more money, you move far away from them, or anything happen good for you, they have lost complete access. They know that they are not a good enough friend to keep access to you if you get away. God says to me clear as day right now, their friends will be removed from your sector. You're tired of it. Them friends, them fake friends, keep your distance, keep your silence, stay in isolation, keep yourself, keep repeating to them that I am healing. And if they don't get that I am healing and they keep trying to hurt you, or they keep projecting their nasty, their situations onto you, then separate yourself from them. God will remove them through their own disasters. And they will not be able to blame you for shit. The most they can say is you stop fucking with them. And when they say you stop fucking with them, stop fucking with them. Learn from the last position. When you start fucking with them, when you stop fucking with a man, when you think you stop fucking with him, the next thing he gonna do is become violent. If you see him get himself right and you start to applaud him and reissue back into his life, because he done got his shit together. To them, they're like this. You're going to ride and die. No, honey. If you're leading me to death, I'm going to get off the fucking roller coaster. I'm going to get out the motherfucking car. I'm going to walk the rest of the way. And either you're going to get to the other side on your own, and we're going to meet up in 2 separate vehicles, or we ain't going to see each other. When you look at it that way, you will never let a person drag you down into their shit and then have to sit there and help pick up the pieces of their fucked up life. that they have allowed and caused onto themselves. It's a difference when you're helping somebody who is innocent in an equation, who is no longer trying to allow these things. Like if you're dealing with a woman or a man who literally has escaped an abusive situation, an abusive family, and now they're out in the middle of nowhere, and you have resources or a place for them to go, by all means, Jesus Christ, help them. Okay? But when you're dealing with a person that wants to put themselves back in a repeated endless cycle, what can you do but let them hit the floor? Now, this brings me to my next lesson. Mr. Spin the Block want to continuously spin them cycles. When a person keep loving a person that causes them pain, sickness, and all types of weird, damn near deaths, when a person gets involved with that person, and then adds another person in that person's life, come and start adding people in their problems, but their problems is never resolved, to where everybody is feeling, to where somebody over here is enraged, somebody over here starts practicing black magic, witchcraft, and cursing hats and spells. Somebody over here is like a monkey, going and getting cronies to come back and do whatever this, narcissists want them to do. And somebody is usually the victim of all that damn shit and a victim of all the fucking jealousy, envy, and hate. But they have exited the fucking picture. When you got a person that put them type of people on rotation, put the divine feminine in that rotation, who loves to exit the picture, get the fuck away when it's a red flag. Know you're dealing with somebody who's going to eventually start whooping your ass. Never go back to a narcissist who can put you on rotation. With a bunch of women. Because when they give up their appearance to people, but they only want their appearance to the opposite sex for use and control, that means they are willing to get that woman and isolate her and to do whatever the fuck they want with that woman. When they get to a point where a man want to isolate you from every fucking body, your friends, your family, and the only thing he want is what's familiar to him around him, that means that this man will beat your ass. He will beat your ass. Why? Because every time you catch him on a red flag, it will make him feel inferior. He will become jealous of your intellect, your intelligence, and your spiritual prowess. He will get sick of your intuitiveness. Let that man go. When they get to where they act on isolating you, instead of copycatting and hating on you and shit, and sending gang stalkings, or instead of throwing temper tantrums and treating you any which way. When they get to where they stop doing that, but they want to hold you up like Rapunzel, and they put on that long, I call it the long, the long game. When they wear that mask and to perfection, and they got you Rapunzel, run. You dealing with, like I said, Mr. Swindler, Mr. People Pleaser, and Mr. I forgot the third one. But you're dealing with 3 stages that end up being a full, complete devil at some point in their life. I'm looking at this one, and I'm telling him to stop being selfish and stop trying to fuck your friends that are females, because you're addicted to the energy. So you need to cultivate it within yourself. He don't listen. He will be on warlock shit within a year. He will use his pain, his hurt, his trauma, his heartbreak to start doing spell work. Ain't that most of their excuses to start anyway? They couldn't get what they wanted. They got their ego bruised. They got their heart broken. So they started picking it up and started fucking with people with it. The one who's already using the spell work is on demon time. I'm gonna let you know they going into full blown demonic states. Misusing their rituals, not celebrating, and getting out here in the grass and observing the trees. When you go out here and you deal with Obatala, Shango, and all these, you should be in tune with the element of them. That means instead of being in the backyard or in the graveyard somewhere, you should be out in nature meditating and taking in the atmosphere and connecting with nature and touch some fucking grass. If you're not doing that, and all you're doing is cutting up chickens and slitting throats and blood offerings and all sorts of shit, you have no value for life. You're on demon time. That chicken had a life. I'm like, that goat had a life. And you wanted something so bad you had to go and kill an animal to get it? I understand if you're killing an animal to rid somebody's house of demons and you're taking the chicken blood and doing the hoodoo to rid somebody's house of negative spirits. But they're not doing that. They're out here conjuring shit for material gain and wealth, for power. So at the end of the day, that person's on demon time. You can't save this person. Leave them. Leave them when they're on demon time. You can't speak to them when they're on demon time. But when they're on devil energy, I'm going to tell you something. When they upgrade to devil energy, 9 times out of 10, the spells don't work. Everything done gone to shit, they done hit rock bottom. And the only thing they see in a human being is win at all costs. When they get to want to win at all costs, that means they'll pay a root worker. They'll do the spell. They'll game stalk you. They'll stalk you their damn self if people don't want to participate. They'll sleep with multiple people. They'll be out here doing everything, every drug known to man. When they get on devil time, they're addicted to the demons. Look at it that way. They have become addicted to their demons, and they do not want to part from them. They don't want to do the work. They done did too much bad to where they don't want to look within. When they on demon time, they're blind. They're lost. You cannot. That sheep is is going in the wilderness. Look. You can't do nothing for them. You can be a savings grace olive branch to all of them, but 9 times out of 10, you can't do nothing for them that's on demon and devil time. But that selfish man, he has an opportunity to not be selfish. But if he's not willing to do the work, he will go down the same dark path. And any woman like him that follows suit in that will be on that same path. So with that being said, it's best for divine feminines right now to go into celibate mode, concentrate on yourself. Because right now, there's going to be far many that will pick the wrong path down into demonic nature and devilish ways. And they will be willing to drag you and crucify you. Your name, your reputation, everything about you will be crucified. Dealing with these folks. And if you're like me, I ain't come here to be no Jesus Christ. I might come here to have Christ energy, but I ain't come here to be nobody martyr. Separate yourself. Go ahead and separate yourself. Let them talk. Let them gather. Let them be a legion. And know that you are protected. You are cherished by all the gods. All things in the cosmos will work for you in your favor to your divine will, which is on earth as it is in heaven. And be there with that. Complete that mission. And understand your mission now is to collect the earth within your heart, the love within your heart, the heaven within your heart, and make it a reality on earth. And know that you might be alone on this journey for a while. You will meet those with like minds. You will meet those in like position. You will meet those who go to therapy. You will meet those who practice praise and worship instead of curses and spells. You will meet those who vibrate on higher frequencies. You will meet those who rather use the light than the dark. You will meet those that understand that the only dark that can be used is the dark Nana Baluku of the universe. Her black tapestry of beautiful collective galaxies and stars. You will understand what it means. You will understand what it's for, and you will understand that you need not tamper with free will, and you need not take or spell cast for those things that have already been blessed and bestowed to you for you being divine. You have inheritance far beyond the eye can see. You are a rich spirit. Therefore, you are rich every day, all day, and protected every day, all day. Leave it at that. Let them go. Cut those ties. Keep moving forward on your journey. You will be fine. You will wake up fine. You will not be a miserable ass, old, bitter man in a hospice home. You'll probably be taking care of their old bitter asses because they will lose their sanity behind this shit. You will not have to deal with most of them because they're going to die from their sexual deviancy, or they're going to be incarcerated for a long period of time for their impulsive anger and resentment and hate. But you do not have to worry about them. They are being removed. Allow them to fall to the wayside and keep on to the vision that God has blessed and bestowed upon you to have for you, yourself, and those who support you and are truly there for you, not asking for nothing. Because I'm going to tell you something. A person who's there for you, you can go to them at any time. You might see them once in a blue moon, but they are always your friend.